Hello, welcome. This is Blockchain Bloom, the blockchain educator. I'm Attila Pink, and in today's video, I'm going to talk about that are we witnessing right now a breakout or just a fake out? We can see that Bitcoin bull score hits 6-month high right now. Let's check who is buying, who is selling, and also talk about this year's biggest hack, which was the Kelp DAO hack. Hackers took more than 290 million US dollar, and Aave also got affected by this. How? I'm going to explain the whole situation. Then we have CZ, who is actually pointing out that crypto's transparency is the thing which is keeping institutional money on the sidelines, and let's talk about it. Why? Then we have fake ledger devices circulating, and we have Justin Sun, who is actually filing a lawsuit against the Trump family's crypto project World Liberty Financial. A lot of other things also in today's video, so don't forget, every single day I'm bringing you the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on Blockchain Bloom to keep you up to date. So basically, the essence of the news, less than 60 seconds in short videos. And once a week, you're having, this kind of video when I summarize what's happening on the market. So if you'd like to keep yourself up to date, just simply subscribe to this YouTube channel. And now let's do it. Right, and for the start, let's have a look at the market, where we can see that actually Bitcoin is, not really moving, 0.03% up in the last 24 hours, with this 78,176 US dollars, sorry. Then we have Ethereum going down 2% in the last 24 hours, 2,344 US dollar. The top gainer, Memecore, but just by 6% in the top 100, stable, up 5%, and just is up 5%. Losers, pretty much the same, so sideways movements right now. We have ETH, almost 6% down, Pump 6%, 5, ENA 5%. So as you can, very, very similar numbers for the upside to the downside when we're looking at the last 24 hours result. And now when we're looking at the Bitcoin chart, this is here the daily Bitcoin chart, you can clearly see that we are moving up in this channel, which is pretty much a perfect bear flag so far, if you're looking at this. And now we hit this resistance level, which is 78,000-ish. And also we hit this trend line, which we can draw here perfectly. So what I'm watching right now, so what's going to happen here? This could work as a resistance and pushing us back, just like it happened here on the 17th of April. We went down and, or we just were pushed back here, collected some energy to go even higher. What is important to watch, I think, is the 200-day moving average. This is here the red one, because in many cases, it's clearer like this. If you see that, then here in the bear market, we are under it. And very importantly, in the previous bear market, we had a very, very similar situation when we started to go down in November 2021. We started to come back in end of March 2022, and we went all the way up here. So remember, Bitcoin went down to 33,000-ish, and it went back all the way to 48,000. But this worked as a resistance, and then we went even further down, as we all know. So when we're looking at the present situation, that could be also an interesting thing, because right now we were all the way down to 60,000 US dollar. We could come back theoretically to 85, 86-ish, kind of. And then maybe if it's working a resistance, if not, of course, then the thing is changing, the trend is changing. But right now, when we're looking at the big picture, you can see it's a clear downtrend what we're witnessing now. And these kind of things, even here, it was a fake out. These kind of fake outs are happening. Yes, this time we broke the, here you can see the blue line, but that's, just one thing. this could be important. I think the 200-day moving average. When we're looking at Bitcoin on the weekly, we can also see. Now let's put back these things. That last week we clearly closed under this line where we closed several times before on the weekly. Now we went above it. We are above it, but it's same happened like last week. So we are just on a Thursday right now. So what will happen until end of the week? That's a big question. Easily we can come further down. So I think to decide what is this, it's just too soon. It could be easily just simple fake out, as I just showed you before, because that happened in the past. But when, of course, the trend changing with it, but it's too soon to say anything. And well, when we're looking at the inflows, now we recently start to see some inflows, but into Bitcoin spot ETFs, but institutions acting in the same way like retail, and when it's FOMO around, then they FOMOing in. When it's more scarcity, then it's not scarcity, but when it's a scary situation, FUD, then they actually moving out. So this is the reason why we see rather now inflows. The chances for rate cut, when we're looking at this, no chance for rate cut, to be honest with you. Next week, we're going to have the next FOMC meeting, the 29th of April. But the same is going for June, July meeting, September, October, December. So basically, the chances for rate cuts in this year are, at the moment, it's very close to zero. That could change. We do know. The new Fed chair is coming in May, by the way. And here we have Bitcoin bull score hits 6-month high. As you can see it here, we're going up here. And yeah, that looks better. But again, what I just pointed out for you guys here, as you can see it, this was back in 2022, the kind of fake out, as I showed you here, and then we went much lower. And the real breakout, it's really just happened at the beginning of 2023. So yeah, this doesn't mean anything, but it's looking better than it looked a couple of months before. Right. Then when we're looking at here the long-term holders accumulating, they've accumulated in the last 30 days 303,000 Bitcoin, as you can see it here. On the other hand, there were sales by 290,000 Bitcoin sold by the short-term holders. By the way, the strategy alone, accumulated 53,000 Bitcoin. So just we're looking at these guys. And here you can see them, last time they scooped up another 34,164 Bitcoin. And very important, they're holding already 815,061 Bitcoin. But we have Tom Lee, Bitcoin, it's accumulating Ethereum. And they bought for another 100,000 Ethereum recently. So they're still doing their own thing. Right. And now let's move on to this biggest DeFi hack 2026. So in this year. And this is scalped out. This has happened, last weekend, basically. Just this is the first long video I'm doing since that. So 290 million US dollar worth of ETH were stolen. And here you can see the hacks. These are just for 2026. Crazy that how many we had already. But the interesting thing is that these guys, it happened on the layer 0 bridge. So that was the problem. And that's the reason why they could exploit that amount. But then these guys, what they accumulated during this hack and these RS ETH, they put it as a collateral on Aave, which is the biggest lending protocol right now, and decentralized lending protocol. And because of that, they got in trouble. Because then the hacker could, borrow wrapped ETH for 280 million US dollar. and basically, but that wasn't really backed because it was like a stolen. They used the stolen RS ETH. So yeah, and this thing is now just happening in the DeFi ecosystem. So to be honest with you, when we're looking at DeFi, it's still not safe enough. As you can see it here, so many new hacks. We have the drift protocol just a couple of weeks ago, hyperbridge thing, and so on and so forth. A couple of things in January. So when we're looking at the yield, what you can get with DeFi right now, and we're looking at the other hand, the risk what you run with DeFi, I think it's just still too high. But this is just my personal opinion. Right. Okay. Let's move on. Here we have CZ, and he's talking in this interview about why he thinks that basically because of the transparency of crypto and blockchain, and the institution standing on the side. Let's listen to it.
Crypto industry, to be honest, is too transparent. It's actually extremely easy to track crypto funds. Like the blockchain is a public ledger, and then if you couple that with a few centralized exchanges KYC information, you can track most of the transactions pretty accurately. So I think right now there's a lack of preserving of privacy. But right now the problem is many of the regulators and law enforcement people don't know how to use it yet. Some people do. I think some of the U.S. law enforcement actually knows it quite well. In other countries, they know it much less. So hopefully we'll get to a balance where, I don't know where the optimum balance is, but there should be an optimal balance where we satisfy all the regulatory requirements, but we also need to protect individual privacy. Right? For example, I'll give you a couple examples.
Please.
For example, like if your company pays everybody in crypto, and if you get one payment today on the blockchain, you can just trace to the address that paid you and see how many addresses that address paid in the last week. You can figure out everybody's salary.
Okay, it goes on for a while, but I just wanted to point out, and it's a pretty good point, because what we have now in blockchain and crypto for a while, it's as a pro that transparency. But when now the big guys are entering, we have the companies, we have ETF funds, all these kind of big players. They don't like transparency that much. They don't want you to see what's happening, indoor. And therefore, this is also, it's not just the pro, it's a cons for crypto. And also when it comes to privacy, if you're paying with your crypto for a hotel and you don't want others to know that you're staying there, with that you're running this kind of risk because of the KYC and all these kind of things. So, yeah. CZ is talking about the balance, find it somewhere, and it's still waiting. Now it's that's the reason why actually a couple of months ago, Zcash, Dash, and many other privacy coins went up in value because it's an important thing. So transparency on one side is good, but privacy is also very important, and I think we should find the balance. So I think it's good that he pointed out. Okay, when it's talking about safety, then keeping your crypto on hardware wallets is right now kind of the safest. On the other hand, of course, you running the risk that you take the whole responsibility, protecting your seed phrase and so on and so forth. But you have to be careful because there are fake devices, and if you're not ordering it from the official Ledger website, you're running the risk that some distributor is working with someone else, and there are the fake firmware already on the device, and your wallets will be drained. And this is, they found a lot of Ledger Nano S pluses which were actually fake. So you should be very, very careful and always just order from the official site. And finally, we have Justin Sun, the founder of Throne, files a lawsuit against Trump's family's crypto project, World Liberty Financial. He's saying that they wrongfully froze all my tokens, stripped me of my right to vote on the government's proposal, and have threatened to permanently destroy my token. So, yeah, it's interesting. right? He was a huge supporter, bought a huge amount, and now he's suing the Trump family. It's also like a tough thing to do. One of Trump's sons said it's ridiculous, as ridiculous that buying a banana for $6 million US dollar. But yeah, okay. We will see what's going to happen with this. I think these were the main things, what happened this week. So what I wanted to point out that yes, we see Bitcoin now going up, and yeah, we haven't seen Bitcoin so high since end of January, so around 78, 79,000-ish. And we can go further up, but please be aware of it that it also could be a fake out, and pay attention, and think about what is your goal, to make quick money or actually be a part of a longer bull trend. And in my opinion, this is not confirmed yet. This is what I think. If it's changing, I will change my mind. But right now, I'm still hesitating and still waiting for confirmation. But this is my personal opinion. I don't know what you think. You can let me know in the comment section. And also, don't forget that every single day, I bring you the freshest cryptocurrency and blockchain news here on Blockchain Bloom to keep you up to date. So from Monday to Sunday, you're getting these fresh short videos, the essence of the news in less than 60 seconds to keep you up to date. But once a week, you're having this video like this one, a longer one, when I go deeper what's happening on the market. So if you would like to keep yourself up to date, just simply subscribe, hit the like button if you like this kind of content. See you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye-bye.